This is Jacqueline Price, aka Rich Sister, just coming to you this morning to share a little bit on the subject, who God is. Who God is. I'm going to start off reading this verse, Revelation 22, verse 13. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, the first and the last. And I just wanted to share some things that I kind of just had to get reminded of, because sometimes we need to be, in times like this, we need to be reminded of who God is. And I just want to share a little bit about a time I got to participate in this month, a time of prayer and consecration. And shout out to Dr. Judy McAllister. She led in this time of special time of prayer and consecration. And the focus was on the names of God. And to just give you a few for example, we have Adonai, which means my master. We have a popular one, Jehovah Jireh, meaning my provider. Jehovah Rapha, my healer. Jehovah Shalom, meaning my peace. And that's just a few for example. I welcome you to study the names of God in full on your own time. But that's just a few of the names of God and their meaning. And we just got to remember who God is. He is the beginning, He is the end, the first and the last. He is Alpha and Omega. He is everything. God is our everything. If you really take the time to study the names of God, He is our everything. And definitely a recurring thought that came out of that time is, don't focus, when you're praying, don't focus on your need, but focus on the one who meets the need. Put your focus, when you're in prayer, put your focus on God. And a great example of that in the Bible is the Hebrew boys. And if you're not familiar with that story, it's the story of King Nebuchadnezzar, who built the big golden statue of himself, and he wanted everybody to worship it. But the Hebrew boys would not worship the statue. And I want to read a few of those verses coming from the book of Daniel, chapter 3, verses 14 through 18. I just want to read those verses to you. And I'm reading it from the New Living Translation. Nebuchadnezzar said to them, "Is it true, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, that you refuse to serve my gods or to worship the gold statue I have set up? I will give you one more chance to bow down and worship the I have made when you hear the sound of the musical instruments. But if you refuse, you'll be thrown immediately into the blazing furnace. And then what God would be able from my power?" Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego replied, "O Nebuchadnezzar, we do not need to defend ourselves before you. If we are thrown into the blazing furnace, the God whom we serve is able to save us. He will rescue us from your power, Your Majesty. But even if he doesn't, we want to make it clear to you, Your Majesty, that we will never serve your gods or worship the gold statue you have set up." Isn't that powerful? In that case, that's a great example of the Hebrew boys focusing on the God whom they serve. See, they say he can meet the need. Don't get it twisted. They were telling Nebuchadnezzar, don't get it twisted. He can meet our need, but if he doesn't, we still will not bow. Isn't that powerful? In that case, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego focused on the one who could meet their need. They focused on who God was. They understood him as Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the last. The beginning and the end, the first and the last. They understood who their God was, is. He was, he is now, and will be in the future. He is the God of the past, the present, and the future. He doesn't change. God doesn't change. God is God. Whether he meets your need or for some reason if he doesn't meet your need. And I know that's hard to think of, right? That's hard to think of him not meeting our need, right? So as we pray, what do we typically do? We typically focus on the need and we wanting him to meet the need, right? But if we will focus on him alone, if you would do like the Hebrew boys, focus on him, put the focus on him and who he is. See, it's times like this we got to remember who God is. He is Alpha, he is Omega, he is the beginning, he is the end, he is the first, he is the last. That's who our God is. Our God is awesome. He is mighty. God is. In times like this, it's so easy to forget who he is. But we got to remember, like the Hebrew boys, God is our everything. Whether he meets the need or not, we have got to keep our focus on who God is. We got to keep our focus on who he is. Don't get distracted. Don't get distracted. Don't get distracted on what it looks like. God is in control. Know who your God is. He is the one. He is everything. He's the God of the present and the future. Just remember that. Remember who God is. Don't get distracted. He is Alpha. He is Omega. He is the beginning. He is the end. He is the first. He is the last. Remember who God is, okay? A big announcement. Thoughts for Vision anniversary is coming up October the 20th. So be on the lookout for that. Thoughts for Vision celebrating 10 years. 10 years of Thoughts for Vision. It's hard to believe. And thank you all out there for your support. We'll be celebrating October the 20th. And I welcome you to participate. Want to start sharing your well wishes or you want to make that special anniversary donation, I'll leave you feel free to do so by, of course, going to JackieAP.com, clicking on the donate button, which will lead you to the PayPal, or you can do it by Cash App. Cash App, Rich Sister One, RICHSISTAH1, if you want to be a blessing. But Thoughts for Vision anniversary coming up October the 20th, celebrating 10 years of Thoughts for Vision. Thank you all so much out there for your support, okay? Just keep in mind what I said. Remember who God is. God is your everything, okay? There's not a thing that he cannot do, okay? Focus on who he is to you, okay? Focus on who he is. He is our everything, okay? Don't forget that. Take care, and you have a wonderful and blessed day.